Hello and welcome to BlackOut TV. We are just starting the ETF2L Highlander Season 10, and we've got our first Premiership game on week 1, which is Upward. And I am with Carlotso, and today we are going to be watching and covering the game between Fair Enough and the winners of the High Division of Season 9, the Bureau. How are you doing, Carlotso?
I'm doing well. Was quite surprised to be asked to cast this game today, but I do love casting, and yeah, it should be pretty cool. Bureau and Fair Enough, two teams which have definitely proved themselves quite a lot. Fair Enough, of course, being the more seasoned team going into this, but Bureau have a lot to prove here today, and they could have a damn good match here today.
Yeah, you say more seasoned, but obviously we have to look at. There's been quite a few roster changes on Fair Enough, a lot different than it was last season.
Absolutely. I mean, playing as a player, one of the players for Nunya, we definitely expected to be seeded against them in the qualifiers, as we thought we were both very even teams in that regard, when we kind of didn't really get to see what they could bring out as the match does go live.
Yeah, so we've got who's starting? We've got Bureau actually starting on attack, and we've got obviously Fair Enough on defense. So we quickly run through the rosters on Fair Enough. We've got Gige on Medic, starting off. We've got Yggdrasil on Pyro, Quintosh on Soldier, who I guess obviously is murking for Ty. Adysky's on Demo, Viljack's on Spy, Milkman's on Sniper, Terry Rendezvous is on Engineer, Pidox is on Demo, and Denny is on Scout. When you take us through the Bureau's roster.
Heading up the Bureau's roster, we've got Zaphis on Scout, Justice on Soldier, Yahoo on Pyro, Cooley on Demo Man, Simba on Heavy, Matex on... I believe that's the Engineer, yes, Chronos as their main caller on Medic, Bess on Sniper, and McNando on Spy. Did make a mistake, unfortunately, not Yahoo on Pyro, that will instead be V-Clocks.
Who's working from my current team, Budget Tokens.
So we saw actually Fair Enough open there with the Crits Creek Stickies on the left side, running to stick with the crits here on this defense. Risky strategy here from Fair Enough, as Crits is going to be able to keep them the hold if the Uber exchange does come in here from the Bureau.
Yeah, we've got 2 early picks on. Actually, what?
Demoman Bomb comes in, Cooley coming in here, trying to get the mid pick, but he does get taken out by Cherry Sentry. Not really coordinated enough with McNando, who did get picked off earlier as he tried to come in. As Viljak takes down Simba as he tries to edge the cart forward.
Yeah, we've seen from other teams, we saw quite a few bombs go in for a medic, but there wasn't really any kind of initial plays. I mean, I see McNando's pushing up now, but I think they just went to see a spawn wave, maybe just trying to see where everyone was.
Quintosh is being incredibly aggressive with his bombs here, trying to deny the top left spawn coming in, as Cooley goes for another bomb around from the bottom left side, gets the opening, but Skeege is actually in a very good position to not get hit by the pill, and that's going to be another wasted suicide for the Bureau.
Yeah, we still don't have a cap time yet, so it's not exactly like they're running against the clock, and so far we've got strong enough hold and Fair Enough. There's not exactly the kind of the plays we're looking for just yet. But,
no frags have come out. No frags have come out for the Bureau yet on this side. Instead, Milchman has got a great position up here on top, getting absolutely healed to heavens by Skeege, and he's doing fantastic work here denying this ground as Denia is peeking the top right area. Milchman does actually go down. No, that's just the kill feed as of Devering a Spy. My bad.
I can see that we've slowly got the Bureau trying to walk up right side. I mean, Zappa's just immediately gets domed. But, I mean, Bez, he's trying to work his way up, trying to get a pick out of it. Obviously, running Razorback, which we know wasn't banned after that pre-season cup. Didn't affect me personally, but I know a lot of the other snipers in these top divisions were
McNando in actually a good position here as he jumps in to try and get the pick on Skeege, but he does get caught out, and the sentry from Cherry Rendezvous does take him out. As the Uber actually comes in from Fair Enough, Cooley goes for a bomb, and it's not going to be good enough. I believe Quintosh got the force there as the Uber is responded from Fair Enough. And it looks like that's going to be another reset there, in the same position as they were before. What went wrong with that push there?
Well, they bombed in, but Cooley immediately got disconnected and then just kind of got slammed. I didn't see any soldier kind of action in there, or even Simba getting involved, and the Uber came back out. But I guess it gives Bureau the Uber advantage now to try and push through again.
A lot of good cap time coming in here from... Oh, but a big bomb from Quintosh gets caught out, but the car is actually getting edged forward by the Bureau, and they're getting it more forward as Pidox nearly goes down to Justice, but he takes him out. Pidox and Milchman here are doing a fantastic job on this defense. Milchman is just doming people left, right, and center, as you said. And this is a really hard point, it seems so far, for the Bureau to try and break through, as McNando is trying to get some extra cap time here. Uber does get popped in here. Zaphis is getting taken in on this Uber from Chronos, trying to get the force in, but Skeege actually waits a long time. That's going to be a much better Uber for Fair Enough in this counter exchange here, and it looks just like it's going to be another reset as the mini sentry goes down from adysky.
There was a Pidox almost got picked off at the end there, but I suppose maybe trying to send Zaphis in as a scout. We know that Zaphis is obviously quite strong in his DM sense, that let's just maybe just get the force out and just get enough of an advantage this time for the Bureau to be able to push and break this very strong defense.
Zaphis has surprised me this season as being, at least in the qualifiers at least, as being one of the more passive and most spy-aware players in the game I've seen so far. I'd be very interested to see how he stacks against Strong Opinions here, as Justice is taking this high ground as Yggdrasil runs upstairs to take care of him.
Yeah, that might be back to when obviously Zaphis used to main Pyro back in the days.
And it looks like the Bureau are electing to get out here. They were losing some numbers. Smart decision from them to try and back out here, as the Uber advantage is in Skeege's favour. Fair Enough are looking to solidify their hold on the second point here, as Pidox does actually end up going down there to McNando.
Yeah, I think they lost quite a few players.
Denya with a big medic pick there on Chronos. The Uber advantage is completely in Fair Enough's favour now.
Yeah, we saw the Sentry go down on first, and I think it just gave Fair Enough the reason to back out, and especially with Uber advantage, there's no reason to try and hold in. Especially when you're defending and they're setting a time, you also have a stronger hold than go for risky plays just yet.
Tempted sap from McNando there, dealt with efficiently by Cherry though, as Viglox goes down as well. Pidox engaging with Simba on the bottom right tunnel here as Yggdrasil runs forward to attempt to clean up, but it's just going to be another reset here. And Best does end up getting the pick on Milchman. That's going to be a great pick for Chronos to try and push up top here, but the Uber advantage is in Skeege's favour as they are holding the bottom of this tunnel. You've got to wonder whether they're looking to go aggressive here and try and get this free kill, and that's exactly what they're going to do as Denia gets Ubered in with a flash from adysky. Chronos does end up going down, and that's going to be a great Uber for Fair Enough to buy him an extra minute here.
Yeah, I wanted to point quickly that Cherry had the Sentry in quite a strange position. He had it actually watching the tunnel, and it was just before the Bureau seemed to make any sort of aggression. He moved it back, and obviously the Uber came out, and fantastic from them.
We've seen a lot of NGs elect to instead put their sentry at the end of tunnel instead of up top during the aggressive second hold, as Cooley, bombing from the window, manages to get the pick on the sentry gun and Milchman. That's two huge picks here. They're going to maybe want to think about dry pushing this as adysky hits a damn good pill, taking out Cooley. But the aggression is going to be enough so that Fair Enough decide to back out here and live to fight another point.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what Fair Enough are going to do. Are they going to try and get up a solid hold on third? Because they've got an Uber advantage, but they essentially went down quite late as they were getting out. They're only, I mean, the level 1's not even built yet. And you've got to see that you've already got Simba already pushing up round the car, and Miss Denia goes down, and they're already in the house area, and there isn't a level 3 up yet.
Fair Enough will be looking to take an aggressive hold here, buy time for their NG to get his sentry up and make use of their Uber advantage, but Chronos is creeping up on Uber now. Looks like it's going to be evens for both of these teams as Quintosh nearly goes down here. Cooley's trying to make the space here, running forward, gets Girardi'd. Both teams just exchanging spam here. Quite hurt in the house is Justice, and he ends up going down to adysky. Really aggressive, not letting that ground go to waste as Zaphis is trying to just edge the cart forward.
Yeah, I do notice as Zaphis, he's quite happy playing a more kind of passive combo scout, and even the way he pushes the cart, he's always kind of on the side between the medic and the cart rather than just kind of soloing it. As I say that as he started running up round to flank, but
trading a lot of spam here. Milchman does end up going down for Fair Enough, which is a good pick for the Bureau, but Cooley is down as well as just respawns in. Viglox walking forward here to try and gain some space here. They're going to be pushing without Cooley, trying to get the space, and the Uber comes in from Skeege, popping on to Quintosh there, trying to make the space there, and the Uber does come in from Chronos. That's going to be a better Uber, but the players just aren't in yet. The space hasn't been made as Justice is trying to get rid of the sentry on his own. Cooley comes in and cleans up the sentry, and Fair Enough are scattered all over the place here as Quintosh tries to push into Justice here, and he does get picked off from the sick rocket there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see there's a few things happening for Fair Enough falling back, but even there, adysky got picked, and now Skeege is by himself up top, and he should just get picked.
adysky completely caught out of position there, didn't notice McNando, walked straight past him, and that's going to be a free pick as Cooley going huge, taking care of Skeege and Yggdrasil there. Uber advantage is going in Chronos' favour.
I mean,
Looks like
Bureau
it's
have a
gonna be
great chance now, but they just need to not throw this away. I mean, they're already pushing, but if they play too aggressively and Chronos gets picked off...
Fair enough,
then
so
you're
weak in
bad.
numbers here. Gonna need to keep free on the cart if they want to get this, and Simba is moving forward to initiate the spawn camp. Milchman trying his best to get rid of him, and Quintosh takes him down with the Beggar's Clay. Minando backing in here, manages to sneak around and manages to take out Pidox there with the backstab, going up to Milchman, pokes him to death, and that's going to be a lot of extra cart time as Zappos takes care of Denya on his 9 kill streak. It's best take care of Cherry Wonderby. The Sentry goes down to McNando. McNando doing some huge work on this push here as Justice walks up, makes the space, and that was some excellent play there from Zappos and McNando.
Yeah, 8 minutes and 16 seconds is a decent time. Their last push was easily their strongest, watching it. They struggled to push in through first, but that conversion from third to last was really quick.
It was a really strong offensive push there. I think it all went wrong for Fair Enough on their 3rd point defense. They couldn't really seem to hold the space in their Ubers, and they lost the Uber advantage, and they sort of left their NG out to dry with the Sentry being taken down by Quintosh and Cooley in that Uber there. And on that last push, McNando just went absolutely huge, taking care of the Heavy, the Sentry Gun, and Milchman all in a swift strike.
Yeah, meanwhile, they just had Zephyr just sitting on that cart, and you've either got to then focus off the combo or the cart, and maybe they focused the combo too hard. And, I mean, you had all of Fair Enough just sat back in their spawn trying to push out, but you've got a Spy running around there, so that's obviously a priority. You've got the cart, and you've got this kind of 50% Uber advantage combo pushing the cart as well. But yeah, overall, just a really strong push all the way through.
So we're not going to be seeing any crit shenanigans this time round. Both teams are on Medigun. Not going to be seeing anything out of the ordinary here. We've got McNando stationed on the left here, getting ready to put out the calls. McNando has been surprising me with how efficient he's been this game so far. His best gets an entry pick onto Cherry.
Yeah, because even McNando's just going to sit there, and I'm assuming he's going to call right side. It usually see how quickly he goes for a pick. As actually Bez gets the pick on a Adysky, that should, if anything, potentially halt the push.
Milchman trying to find his opening here on the right door here, peeking out this spawn door as Bess is holding that upward side there, holding on top of the little alcove here. We're actually seeing Fair Enough walking forward, gaining a lot of space here on the top. They're not really being pressured back so much as Quintosh manages to find his spot up top, and he hasn't been spotted yet. Manages to get Justice very low, but Justice is going to survive that as the Uber does come in. Adysky getting flashed in. A lot of flashing going on here. Maybe not the wisest solution here, as they wasted a lot of Uber in the counter Uber here. Uber's just going to be exchanged. Nothing really going on here, but an Uber exchange is as what it is, as the cart is being ever so more inched forward. And it looks like that even without picks being taken away from the Bureau, they're actually going to be giving up this 2nd point here. I mean, the 1st point.
I think if anything, you have to look at how, with what, 8 minutes 16, you have to decide whether or not you go for a risky hold. If you decide to hold forward,
Big Quintosh bomb as he takes out Chronos with the help of Adysky. Pidox walking forward and cleaning up Simba as well. That's the whole combo of Fair Enough down there, thanks to some great synergy from Adysky and Quintosh.
I think what we've seen is just that the Bureau just didn't pull back fast enough. They were thinking about holding on to first, and they just completely just been held out a second. And even now, luckily they've got a level, the Bureau this time have got a level 3 on third, whereas Fair Enough didn't. We'll see if they can hold this better than the Bureau did.
The numbers aren't in the Bureau's favour though, as they are being aggressed on by Fair Enough. The Uber does come in. Sentry gets taken down pretty instantly by Adysky and his pills, and he goes forward and takes out Chronos as well. Adysky leading the charge here as McNando manages to take out Milchman by the back of the track.
Then even Cooley went down there, and even Justice just at the end. So even now... Oh no, finally he does go down, he gets body shot by Bez. So Uber should now go in the favour of the Bureau.
Minando doing some great work here, trying to just pressure the cart, getting a lot of free kills here, but you know that's got to be quite a bit crushing for Bureau. We're going to see Vilejack sneak up behind Chronos, trying to get the pick on him, but he manages to strafe back in time, and he gets the pick on V-Clocks as he tries to walk forward and take out Chronos, but back off. It's got to be crushing for Bureau to not be able to defend this 3rd point here, but they're seem to not be giving up. They're trying to walk their way in as Milchman gets the pick on Chronos. Uber's back in Skeege's favour, and Fair Enough's got to be feeling strong here.
Yeah, they've got 5.5 minutes, captured 2 points. You've got, if anything, well, you've got no defense at all on third. There's no sentry. You've got the combo just moving up top now for last from the Bureau. And luckily, you haven't even got level 3. You've only got level 2. Just go to level 3 now. But everyone else is trying to get into a strong position to hold last for, well, 5 minutes.
Chronos just spawning now. A huge, almost 100% Uber deficit here. We're going to be seeing the combo of Fair Enough heading underneath with Pidox leading the charge up this staircase here. The conch comes in and the Uber is popped, leading with adysky. He's running into them, but we're going to see actually Chronos getting out of dodge there, not even in the situation to begin with, and they're looking to back up and try and take this ground. Simba actually doing a lot more work there than I thought he was going to do, and the frags are just going left, right, and center with only Chronos, Maddox, and McNando staying up for the Bureau here in this huge deficit as adysky is running forward to the cart. McNando hasn't been stopped yet, but they're all dropping down to go for the cart here. McNando gets the pick on Pidox as he just still tries to deal with McNando there at the back, and Milchman's just getting some nice picks here on Chronos. Jack taking out Matex as well, as the teams are trying to stabilize here, but I think the Bureau might be able to stabilize here.
I'd like to think so, only because they've got enough players, but actually there's still picks going out, bit of midfielder just take down Justice as well. Need to remember that Ambassador just taking a pick left, right, and centre. Simba's really weak as well, sitting up top, as well as Cooley just got a kit. So they've got no medic up top, and both of the players aren't exactly at full health yet.
Uber's in a more closer scenario now. This looks like it's just going to be a reset. Matex is going to get his sentry up, as Denia is quite close, to be honest, behind him. He might want to look to go for a sack here to try and get rid of the slight Uber advantage. But it might be enough so that it could be equal. Pidox walks in, does get taken out by Cooley, and it seems to be more pressure from main here. We're seeing as Skis tries to heal adysky up these stairs here. More passive position from the Bureau as they take some more damage. 3 minutes 30 seconds left.
Actually, there went Skeege, he ended up getting body shot underneath. It was part of that aggressive hold, and it just didn't. I mean, it's kind of ruined it for, if anything, the Fair Enough push. They were so strong.
Denny is getting a lot of cap time here. He hasn't been spotted at all. Denny is getting a huge amount of cap time here, and he does get blasted off by Justice eventually. That could have been the round stolen right there from Denia.
I was about to say this, they've lost 2 minutes and haven't really progressed as fast as they had on other points. And then obviously Denia almost getting that, and that would have been a huge upset.
Justice here, trading rockets down below with Quintosh. We're going to see Chronos with a huge Uber advantage here. Let's see if he decides if he wants to use this Uber aggressively or whether they're content to try and let down the time here, because there's always the risk that they can just walk forward and just dissolve, get picked off by sniper key pick players like McNando and Bess, and the Uber does actually... No, Uber's not coming in here, they're just going for a sack, and the Uber is forced on the Simba as they're walking forward. They're getting the frags here. Skeege end up getting backstabbed by McNando. McNando is doing some huge work here for the Bureau. 2 minutes left. There's going to be enough time to get another Uber in for Skeege, but they've got to be sweating right now, Max.
Yeah, they've only got 2 minutes left. They had 5.5 minutes when they were just capped third, and everything looked to go in their favour. And they've just had these somewhat failed pushes. They've either lost a player or they've been forced too early. And they've had a few kind of close, somewhat gimmicky pushes where they just walked onto the cart and no one's watched them. But they've got less than 2 minutes now, and I mean, they've got an ever so slight advantage, and they, if anything, just need to get rid of that sentry and just kind of route their way through. Maybe they can get 2 Ubers out of this, I'm not sure.
Adysky opens with a pick on the V-Clocks, and Yggdrasil runs in and takes out Cooley as well. Milchman getting the pick on the Best. That sniper's down. Oh my god, it seems that Bureau might actually be losing their players right now as their pyro demo heavy and the medic goes down thanks to Adysky. Adysky leading the push in here as McNando takes out Milchman, but it might not be enough as the crits does come in from Adysky, trying to get rid of this sentry gun, and the sentry goes down. Fair Enough are going to take this round. Wow, absolutely out of nowhere. The crits coming in. Adysky leading the charge with some solid picks, but huge misplay there perhaps from the Bureau. What went wrong there?
Well, I'm trying not to immediately just call out every flaw or every little thing I can see. If anything, probably the biggest thing was Chronos was getting picked in some weird positions. There was definitely one play I saw, and it was just as Fair Enough were capping onto third, and there were a lot of players down, but the Bureau still had at least Cooley and Simba up holding that kind of side on third, the kind of little banana area. And instead of Chronos, if anything, kind of running under or going through drop down, he ran directly out through main, which they had no sentry, and they had a sniper on the cart, and he immediately got sniped. And for me, my first thought was, but why would your medic run out? And that lost, obviously, any kind of advance they had, and then Chronos was then another kind of 15 seconds behind. And I'm not sure if maybe they didn't expect the crits. Crits is something that never can really work. I never think it really works, especially on upward last. It's too kind of stretched out where your combo holds over the centuries. You can't do everything in one fell sweep. But no, it was just. I mean, they got forced early a few times. They looked okay, and maybe it was just the change to crits, the slight build advantage they had over that, and getting a few here and there. I mean, adysky obviously was doing work. He was getting picks all over the place, but
crits, the switch to crits might have been more psychological, if anything, for them, trying to up the aggression on their team, as the combined work of adysky and Yggdrasil walking forward and getting those picks as we go live for the second round now might have just been the difference, as we saw Milchman and adysky topping the scoreboard for their teams with 21 and 20 kills respectively, with adysky actually boasting a very nice KD of 2.2.
yeah, adysky's definitely stepped up a lot from where he was a few seasons ago, where everyone just kind of assumed he was just this kind of, you know, I don't say middle division, but decent player, but not decent enough. And very quickly, I would say in a short span of time, he's kind of jumped up the ranks both in Highlander and even in Sixes.
I definitely agree. adysky has stepped up more so. You know, I got a word with Cherry earlier because they've actually adapted adysky as their main caller. And while he hasn't really had experience main calling for the level of Prem that's expected, Cherry has explained that when they're able to listen to him and play around him, it is working out very well with the amount of heals that's being popped into him. So really, it seems that adysky is the key player for Fair Enough here, walking forward. But Milchman is definitely adding a lot to this team by getting a bunch of picks and staying up alive as well. Fair Enough are now going to be initiating with the offense and Bureau on the defense here.
Yeah, just as we go into it, I would quite like to say that I think it definitely helps with Skeej and adysky playing together a lot, but in both game modes. I think it definitely helps add to their chemistry together.
That synergy is definitely evident here, as Skeej and adysky have been doing some great work. Nando walking forward here gets an opening pick on the Pidox. Not really called out very efficiently there by adysky, as Quintos tries to take up the top here. Nando being incredibly aggressive here, getting the pick on Quintos as well. Not even allowing that rune to be taken out, as Best gets the frag on the Milchman. That's going to alleviate some pressure for the Bureau for this defense.
Yeah, I feel Bez has come into this kind of top range as a sniper that, you know, people consider very great for high, but I mean, people say the step up Prem's a lot different. You had Milkman, who was extremely good last season, and I mean, you have people like Nesh and still got Tracker, and I mean, you lost people like Saini, he didn't play last season.
Quintos tries for a bomb here, walks in here, manages to get Zappers and Best down there. Justice getting taken down as well, but Chronos does not pop the Uber here. He knows that if this Uber is popped here, that's going to be a lost first point. Chronos here with balls of steel taking care of this, as adysky jumps up top with Skeej. You're right, those two are playing so incredibly close together as the Uber is exchanged. Simba gets dropped by Chronos, elected to take out there. Maybe a bit of miscommunication from them both, but Chronos does manage to get out here as adysky is trying to keep up the chase, and that is the first point for Fair Enough in 1 minute and 14 seconds.
Yeah, much stronger push than we had last time. We had this kind of slightly clunky push, and this was just seems to be this, I almost said team infused, but this Fair Enough aggression that adysky must quite heavily favour.
With the way that the tempo's swinging right now, it looks like they're not even going to be able to get a second hold on Fair Enough. They're going to have to back all the way to third. That's going to be really tough, as Quintos is just aggressed all the way forward and managed to take out the sentry from Mattox on third. Absolutely brilliant play by Quintos, going all the way behind, and he's going to be a huge thorn in their side now. Mattox trying to set up another sentry as Quintos goes in and takes care of it again, even getting the pick on him. Quintos making a huge play there. That's going to be brilliant for Fair Enough, pushing in the third point now.
Yeah, he got cleaned up by Zappers quite quickly, but I think it's just kind of collateral damage in that sense. You haven't got a sentry on third. I mean, you've got both medics at 100%, so it's not like they're a massive as much as they just don't have a sentry.
Simba taking an exchange here with Pidox up the top, and Simba getting the better end of that. Perhaps a bit of miscommunication here from Fair Enough, as the Uber does come in and they don't really get a lot with it as Yggdrasil goes forward, and oh, this Uber didn't really go very well for Fair Enough at all here, as Best cleans up these frags on Valjack and Denia respectively. Wow, that Uber really did not go as planned there.
No, I didn't know. I think maybe the Bureau have to hold slightly more aggressively with the lack of sentry, which is just going up now, and I think all of Fair Enough kind of fell back into that house after that Uber faded, and it just kind of trap them in for Cooley to just get a big number of picks.
The exchange between Simba and Pidox up top on this catwalk, probably losing their heavy, threw them off more than anything, and adysky I don't believe was very present either, as Yggdrasil got a majority of that Uber. As we're going to see Fair Enough taking this catwalk now, walking forward with heals adysky, incredibly hurt here as Skeege jumps down to try and heal him, as well as Pidox. They're trying to take the spaces. McNando comes in and gets the frag on Milchman. That's going to be a lot of pressure down for them as Vilejack and Denya try and get this cart forward a lot more, and they're getting a lot of cap time here. The cart really not being focused at all by the Bureau here, as they're more clumped up in this house area, a lot of space being given up.
Yeah, they're not holding forward at all. I mean, adysky has literally just walked up that slope. He did take a sticky that can launch them back, but they seem to have no resistance. They're holding the house area. And
Milchman gets a frag of best as the Uber comes in onto Pidox and Cooley. Some flashing coming in here and there as the sentry gun does go down from the Pidox. No one really dying in this Uber yet, but that's going to be the point cap thanks to some great cap time there from Denya and Vilejack respectively.
Yeah, we saw that the cart kind of ignored, and the Uber's trying to just see if there was any space for maneuverability, but I mean, they didn't lose anyone, so if anything, it wasn't a terrible Uber by Bureau. They got all of their players back on last. Sure, they lost their sentry, but they're now sitting up top, and it looks quite comfortably.
Gotta wonder though, 4 minutes for 3 points. Perhaps a little bit of sweating for the Bureau now, because this is dangerously close to a very good time for Fair Enough right now to be able to take this next round off of them.
Especially as Vilejack is claimed by the pit. I think that's the first pit claim of the season, actually.
Congratulations, Vilejack. You will definitely be shown in the award season for pit claim of the season.
So John, get on that pit claim counter. We're up to a total of 1.
Milchman trying to look through main here by the boxes, trying to get an opening frag here as Vilejack coincidentally popping his dead ringer to his own full damage again there. But he's actually ignoring the sniper and going up here to Matex to try and deal with him. Being caught out though, not really going on a lot here. Skeege pops the Uber onto Chronos. Chronos countering with his Uber. A good bit of milking going on here. This Uber is actually going quite a lot more in the Bureau's favour now, as Cherry and Yggdrasil do get taken out during that Uber. I mean, Nando getting the scout pick on the cart is going to deny a lot of pressure, and not a very good Uber from Fair Enough there. But Simba actually overextending, being taken out from Pidox there, and that might actually enable Fair Enough to get some cart pressure now.
Yeah, pushing up that front area, they seem to get trapped. I think maybe they were waiting for Milkman to get a pick and play that very aggressive sniper role, which people definitely seem to like in Premiership. But he just kind of got spammed by a few stickies, and I think it was waiting for a pick and an Uber, and the pick never came. But everyone was in position to Uber, so they just did.
Denya once again getting a lot of good cap time. He may have died for that, but that's some good cap time that's going to help a lot more in the next push going in. But unfortunately with him dying, Zappa sees the opening and walks forward and manages to kill Milchman for free in main. A big pick coming in as it looks like Skeege wants to take the Uber into adysky here. They've managed to take the staircase and the Uber is popped. Oh, but adysky has failed through the gap. Unfortunately, that's going to be such a wasted Uber for Fair Enough as the counter comes in here. Some brilliant work from V-Clox here as he walks forward and takes this Uber, cleans up with a lot of fire damage with Simba, and my word, that Uber could not have gone any more disastrous for Fair Enough there.
Yeah, adysky falling down that hole definitely didn't help the Uber in any way, shape or form. And I think
Vilejack there with a trick stab onto Cooley, taking him out up top. Vilejack showing that as a seasoned spy is not to be messed with, and the pit may claim him, but he will claim adysky there. Not even adysky, Cooley even. Best taken out, Pidox up top as they're walking up top. Simba gets taken out as well. We're going to see Quintos jumping up, Justice jumping up here to try and take care of him, but Yggdrasil manages to reflect himself out the way with Skeege with about a 15% Uber advantage on Chronos here, building incredibly quickly.
Yeah, I'm trying not to kind of push Fair Enough to play really aggressively. They need to not
crits
rush
from
it.
Skeege here. We can see crits on Skeege. They tried this last time. Or perhaps it was the Bureau, but Pidox jumping down here, taking a lot of damage, and the crits coming in from adysky, being disconnected as BlackOut tries to get onto Skeege there. Skeege not dying though, but the Uber does end up coming in here from Fair Enough. I'm getting absolutely flabbergasted right now as the Bureau does take their Uber in, and a lot of picks dying left, right, and center, but the Bureau is actually going to stabilize on this Uber.
Yeah, the crit's working somewhat well. I don't want to say amazing, because obviously they would have gotten the cap. But, I mean, they got the sentry, they got quite a lot of players and ended up kind of brute forcing their way in, almost getting that cap, which shows that actually, crits goes very well in the favour of Fair Enough.
This will look really strong for Fair Enough now as they're about to get this percentage because we saw Matek switch to Gunslinger right now, so they're going to be rocking minis. Crits might actually be just the thing that they need as they're gearing up in the staircase here. Adysky getting ready to lead this top bit here. And this could be the crits that changes the game right now. Crits coming in here, leading on Pidox and switching to Adysky. Chronos going down there, and Cooley as well. This could be the Uber needed for Fair Enough to run in here and take this point. Denia getting some great cap done here. Justice running forward to take care of him, but Adysky jumping down to back him up. Pidox taking an engagement with Simba here, but Simba wins that engagement thanks to the minigun damage. Managed to trump the Tomislav, but the flank of the Bureau runs down and is focusing on this car as efficiently as they can. Milchman getting the pick on Chronos. People are dying left, right, and center. All Fair Enough needs to do is play the cart now, and this is going to be the round for them as Justice runs forward. They're holding on to hope here, but that is a wipe, and it looks like Fair Enough are going to take this time with a solid time of 8 minutes 41 seconds, almost identical to the previous time set.
Yeah, we saw something like 8 minutes 16. And obviously the first 3 points of Fair Enough, we were 3-4 minutes coming into last, and then it never seemed to just. I think the momentum was halted, or they had a failed push, or
the game seems to be in a rush state of pushing straight from first point all the way to last. Neither team seem to have managed to get their solid hold on second or third yet. Teams aren't really backing out first quick enough as the space is being taken, denying them that second hold, and then great aggressive play from players like Quintosh, not even allowing a third hold to happen, are definitely key things which are denying these, I think, longer, drawn-out rounds from happening.
It's definitely something more exciting to see, and I'm kind of glad we're not seeing these long 14-minute holds where everyone's kind of turtling up, and I'm not sure if it's maybe this chemistry, this kind of enigmatic chemistry between, if anything, you could say the Sixers team of Fair Enough with Ski, Adysky, and Denia, and that kind of internal chemistry where they know how to play aggressively and hold back, and that aggressiveness allows them to push and make riskier plays.
8 minutes 41 is the time to beat now. Both teams on Uber once again. The Bureau have to win this round, or otherwise that's not going to be this game for them. Zappos walking forward here with a bonk to try and get a bit of distraction. However, the frags are solidly going in Fair Enough's favour right now.
You've seen 3 players gone down so far? Which isn't terrible. I mean, if we were looking at a 4-minute push, maybe they'd be panicking. But I think they need to keep playing as they did before. They got actually a quicker time pushing normally the Bureau did in their first attack. So they don't need to be worrying about anything just yet.
Nando was trying to go for a pick there, but getting caught out very well by Yggdrasil. A huge sticky trap from Adysky manages to take out both Fess and Chronos. A huge sticky trap as the counter Uber comes in here. Not really necessary, but just coming in to clean up. Adysky proving his worth here with a huge drop on Chronos for that sticky trap.
We need a new emote for Adysky champ.
Adysky champ, spam it in the chat, boys. We're going to see McNando here coming up behind the car. That's got to be really crushing for the Bureau right now. That's the sort of mistake that might just demoralize them now. McNando coming up from behind the sentry. It looks like he might want to try and time a sap here. He's just waiting in position as we're going to see V-Clocks run forward here to try and get some extra damage here. The sap does come in, but Cherry Rendezvous is quickly on that, getting rid of that sapper. And wow, the frags are just insanely going in Fair Enough's favour right now. It feels like Fair Enough has their number. They know how they're playing, and Bureau are going to need to change something up here if they want to try and break past this solid first hold right now.
Well, it's not crits on the look of it. They're not thinking for that. So Cooley, I'm not sure who they're planning on getting. We see Zappos, that's going to be no initial push time. Cooley's trying to walk in, trying to get something, but I think they need to just take ground. But Milkman actually playing quite an aggressive hold on Sniper, which obviously didn't pay off too well as he gets picked by V-Clocks.
Not a pick you see often, the Pyro getting the Sniper pick, but that's about as much value as you're going to get in this mode as a Sniper. Milchman, a huge pick here for Fair Enough to lose. That's going to enable Bureau to take this top area here. They're going to need to try and solid this ground, not lose some picks, and the aggressive Uber comes in from Adysky, trying to take care of Cooley and Justice, but Chronos is actually nowhere to be found. He's safely in spawn, and that is a huge 20% Uber advantage, a good 80% advantage for Chronos here. And it looks like the next Uber might be the one needed for them to break past this first point. But that is 2 minutes wasted already as Milchman gets a nice pick on Best there.
Yeah, we're now looking under 6 minutes, so it has to be kind of immediate pushing on the cart, and if anything, pushed all the way to last.
Smart play from
falls.
Chronos there, expecting Quintosh to walk on him there, solidly staying in the corner, and Quintosh dying for free there. A good Uber coming in here from Cooley, damage going onto this sentry, and it looks like Fair Enough are looking to back up the hill there. No frags coming in from the Bureau, unfortunately, which means they won't be able to run through for second. We might actually see a second hold here as Cooley goes for a big bomb. Doesn't want a second hold up, and actually manages to land a pipe on adysky, but adysky gets the back and doesn't end up dying this day. Fair Enough, I've got a solid hold set up on second now.
Yeah, we already see a level 3 up, which we haven't seen really that much before. Cherry putting in the same position, and he obviously has the ability to pull that back and sit in the kind of that below window area that we're very accustomed to seeing.
I like this positioning from Milchman here. They're making use of the fact they know that they have a strong sniper, and they're just rotating the heels on him very often. Getting quite low there, actually, as a lot of the Bureau are actually funneling into the tunnel here. Trying to get this cart moved up more. Cart time is the name of the game for this mode, as we're almost halfway through the time limit now.
Yeah, it almost looked like they were a kind of semi-hybrid kind of octopus hole where you sit on top of that tunnel and just kind of spread your players out.
Coin it, hashtag it, octopus hold is a go as the Uber comes in here as Yggdrasil gets flashed, but the majority of this Uber almost entirely going to him as he's making space. Chronos disconnecting perhaps to the other way here as Pidox is a little bit caught out, but Vilejack is running in and cleaning up on Simba as Cooler tries to take this top ground here, spamming down some damage, but Fair Enough have done a great job of maintaining this hold as Chronos did go down in that last exchange there. 4 minutes left, still defending second. Fair Enough have got to be liking their chances here as Yggdrasil backs up on Cooley and manages to get the pick on him.
Yeah, both aggressive displays of both offense and defense seem to be working very well in Fair Enough's favour.
Nice pick on a Chronos there from Milchman as he takes that top area. Chronos a little bit overextended there. Can't really push top without knowing what's there. Chronos unfortunately getting picked off here. Things aren't looking great for the Bureau right now as McNando gets picked off there, trying to walk forward. We're going to be seeing huge aggression coming out here from Fair Enough as they're taking this huge top ground.
Yeah, Adysky very comfortable with just jumping forward a bit, trying to take some stickies, just delay anything. And I suppose without a sniper, even without a medic, you don't have all of Bureau's players pushing forward and taking ground without that kind of any of the heals.
I like this play from Zappis here to try and get the cart a bit more inched forward. That kind of cap time is going to be crucial if they want to try and take this round here. Vilejack catching out McNando on the bottom left there. But that aggression undoubtedly was looking for the aggressive Uber. But the Uber does get popped onto Adysky here. And I'm not really sure what happened there. But almost nothing happens as a case of that Uber. And Chronos is looking at a huge 100% advantage now.
I mean, they're going to walk up the hill and you would... It's actually crits coming out from Chronos.
Crits coming in here, yep, absolutely. As Cooley walks forward here, doesn't unfortunately get anything with the crits. And that... Well, it looks like either Ubers didn't really affect that much there.
Oh, that does get Skeege. One play I did quickly see is that actually the telly will go from second spawn just into the house. And Pilux actually took the telly and got a pick on Cooley, who was standing literally next to the teleporter. It was really great to see.
Cherry is very good at getting that telly up, and McNando actually just took that teleporter himself. Not very useful there, as he's ended up basically just rotating to his own team again when he was possibly in a good position. Denny actually going all the way behind here. He was maybe looking to get a pick on Chronos there, but he does get taken out by Justice, and Chronos is still sticking on this crit here. He's going to have a big advantage on them, as it looks like Fair Enough are looking to give up second with 2 minutes left on third with a level 3 already set up and a strong forward hold in place. Quintosh holding this catwalk, Milchman on the tracks, as well as Yggdrasil supporting him from the spy.
Yeah, Fair Enough. Obviously didn't think of trying to hold second at any time at all. Obviously you see Chronos go down, but I think Fair Enough are in such a comfortable position. They're now at, what, a 65% Uber advantage? They've got level 3 on third. All their players are... I mean, they've lost some of their flank, but they've got all their strong classes up.
Milchman is really showing his worth here.
If anything, I just think that Fair Enough will probably take us a minute and a half to go.
They've actually switched to quick fix now. They know how dire their situation is. Really going to be looking for a big pick here as Milchman takes out Cooley. That is not the person that you want to go down when you're trying to get this last push going on. Zappis trying in all of his might to try and get this cart edge as forward as he can as Simba takes the fight up top. Quintosh is maintaining this ground now. That Black Box Conch combo is absolutely hard to go for as Yggdrasil runs in and actually cleans up on Chronos thanks to the damage of Pidox. Yggdrasil and Quintosh have just been absolutely monstrous together this game. Fair Enough are really showing themselves as an experienced team with huge communication as Kulox walks forward to try and take this ground here, but adysky is not letting that happen.
Adysky is staying alive for an awful long time as well. You see a lot of demos will go in, hit these kind of big plates and then go down. But you then look at the kind of net effect of 2 players down versus 1. But Adysky's going getting 2, maybe 3 picks and coming out somehow with like 50 health left over.
With only 30 seconds left, it is undoubtedly in Fair Enough's favour as the cleanup frags are coming in here. All teams trying, Bureau trying to make a scramble for the cart here to try and get it forward, but Milchman is just having none of that, putting out a lot of damage here. Milchman is truly been destroying this matchup.
Yeah, we can see some GGs. I saw a GG came out from Simba. We got 5 seconds to go. And yeah, looks like Fair Enough will take the 6 points. So I don't want to say for the first time in a while, but there we go. That's Fair Enough taking the first 6 points of the first game, and Fair Enough technically go top of the table.
First game of the season there. You know, odds were definitely in Fair Enough's favour coming into this matchup as they are the more experienced team. Bureau, of course, suffering from a lot of problems himself, what with Chronos and his life situation recently. Definitely might have had an effect on some of this, maybe not in the best state of mind to try and lead forward. But they definitely were a high team coming into Prem. Maybe not looking as strong as they were last season, but definitely coming in with a lot of expectations here. And they put up a good fight against Fair Enough here. I don't think Fair Enough were expecting to be taken to last amount of times that they did. And yeah, but the experienced team does end up pulling through here. Adysky has no doubt managed to mold himself a crucial part of his own team with some great flank work from Yggdrasil and Quintosh and the like, with Milchman doing some absolutely brilliant work as the pick class for the team.
Yeah, you mentioned how we were kind of expecting this ever so slight kind of, not worse a team, but maybe it's not the same level. But we had that on both sides. We have Fair Enough changing, I mean, what, maybe 5, 6 players I think from last season. We've obviously got Adysky leading the team. There's no Hearts, there's no Clark, no Skyro or Blood Drunk in Fair Enough. It's a completely new team. But we even had the Bureau coming in off this kind of momentous season of winning, I think, pretty much every game. I think maybe they dropped points to one team last season. But, I mean, 8 minutes for the first cap, we thought, you know, that's just decent time. And then this really aggressive play from Fair Enough to win that half. And then even the second half, I thought, well, Fair Enough's time was actually slower than the Bureau's initial push. I thought, well, maybe aggression isn't the way of doing it, but they look a more kind of rounded team. I'm not sure if it's just the individual players that Fair Enough kind of can show off, or that the team kind of holds and possesses, or just maybe they practice a little bit better. Maybe it is these real life situations you said. I mean, obviously Skyro was meant to be rostered on ETF2L, but he's not there. Vclox was there. I'm not sure there's something there as well, but
it might just have to do with a position of individual player experience, as while Fair Enough undoubtedly did have a huge amount of roster changes, they did actually come in here with a lot of self-experience. Of course, Quintosh being an incredibly seasoned player in his own right. Adysky stepping up to the main calling challenge, doing some great work. I mean, look at these logs here. Adysky going 30-7 in that round, just going, popping out 10,000 damage. Adysky truly has managed to carve out a name for himself at the beginning of this season and say, hey,
hi.
Adysky.
As he joins us himself, Adysky, congratulations on your first victory.
Thanks.
I managed to get a talk with Cherry earlier, and he was mentioning about how you have been managing to step up to the charge and take out the main calling role for your team here. How do you think that match went for you guys in terms of the calls?
In terms of calls, probably worse than last season, because I'm not really used to main calling at all. But I'm getting used to it, and I have a pretty strong team in my hands this season, so I'm really hyped.
I do want to quickly touch on just you say about your main calling experience. I can't say I've casted a match of yours in sixes, for example, but I'm assuming that if anything, because your sixes team is very similar to your Highlander team, you've got a lot of the similar players on both teams. But would you say then that you don't exactly main call for your sixes team?
It's not me main calling, it's Skeech main calling sixes.
So what made you think that you would be better off main calling in Highlander than Skeege potentially doing both teams?
That's a good question. Honestly, I don't really know myself. We kind of came up with the idea with our team. We tried Skeege main calling a little bit. The thing about Skeege, he's not like always there every single match, and I am, so I guess I was like the more guy for the job. Because
You thought it would
like,
be
always,
easier to have a more consistent caller overall, so you weren't always changing it up.
I don't know, man. Like Skeege calls are pretty similar to mine, and he he helps me with main calls as well. We pretty much have the same mindset. He's that kind of like secondary main caller that calls when I am out of ideas.
But man, adysky, you've really sort of stepped up to the plate here. Looking at these combined logs, you went 50 and 16 across both two matches, pumping out 19,000 damage. What do you think of your performance?
I'm just yelling at Skeege to heal me, that's it. But no, like, I have to give props to my team there. They all played really well today. We unfortunately had to play with Quintosh today, instead of Tiger. I just really wanted to show, like, this first match what our full roster can, like, achieve. But it was not really happening today. But we still put up a good fight.
Yeah, we saw some great aggressive plays, and you even say, unfortunately, with Quintosh, and obviously that's because of players, not because of Quintosh himself. I'm not obviously tagging off Quintosh. But would you say that Quintosh and Ty play a very kind of similar soldier style, or would you say they both kind of bring their own skill set to the game?
They both play kind of passive because I told Tiger to play passive. When he never really played that much Highlander before. And he really wanted to get in my team, like, hey guys, it's off season, we don't play sixes. I still want to keep in touch with you. And I'm like, hey, come play Highlander with me. And he was really cool with that. And he started loving it. And they have pretty much the same playstyle. I mean, yeah, what can I say about it?
I wanted to ask you, what did you think about perhaps the pick class game that was going on there? I mean, obviously you had a very strong sniper in Milchman. He definitely proved himself that game. Not dropped a single beat, absolutely doing some great work. But I think during certain parts of that game, McNando was definitely getting the better end of you guys at some points. Was that ever a worry for you at any certain points of the game?
I was really tilted when McNando killed me there on like first round when we were holding top. We were falling back from first, and I got like somehow like mind tricked. Like my brain was like not working properly. I had like brain damage for a second, and it was a code that there is like spy power on top, and I was literally looking at him, and I'm like, this cannot be spy for sure. Like, he's looking at me, he's spy checking around, he's looking around, like, this cannot be spy. And I turn my back to him, and I get backstab, and we get rolled because we have no, like, damage on top. So that was, like, the only time I got tilted by a spy. I don't think we had that much trouble. Yggdrasil was doing a good job spy checking, in my opinion.
Do you feel that Yggdrasil, I mean, we know obviously he took quite a few months out for his own reasons, and he was at Deutschland just at the end, and I was one who thought, well, can he come immediately back into Prem? I mean, we see some people come back and they take a dip in skill level, but I didn't seem to see any kind of deterioration of skill that he had.
All I want from my team is to everyone have like experience. Like, I want every single one of my teammates to like make decisions on their own and think for themselves. And that's why I don't. We had loads of trials, and lots of these paras were really good, but they were lacking the experience that Yggdrasil has. And I just believe in my para because I was like recommended by a lot of people that Yggdrasil is really good and he can get like up on the level. So yeah, I'm kind of like just getting used to playing with him because he joined us like 1 week before the actual season.
Interesting words. Would definitely be intrigued to see what the rest of your team can pull out during the rest of the season, see if you guys can fulfill that potential you're no doubt big enough that you think Fair Enough can achieve. We are, however, joined now by Chronos, the leading medic and main caller for the Bureau. Chronos, how was that game, man?
Hey, I guess not ideal as we lost, as you guys saw, but yeah, congratulations to adysky and Fair Enough. They definitely deserve the win today.
going into this match here, you guys undoubtedly looking a bit like the underdogs going in here. What was the thoughts coming into this matchup? Coming as that team with a guaranteed spot from high to prem. What was the thoughts going into this match?
We wanted to see if we could get anything from this game. We've been a little bit out of shapes this last week. I was away from last Wednesday until yesterday, so I've not been able to play with the team, and I think we played once during that time without me. So things preparation-wise have not maybe been as ideal as possible, and we only got time to map talk the map today, so I don't know. But we went into the game hopeful that we could try to get something out of it, and we did a couple of times think, yeah, okay, we can get points here, or we can get a win. But fair enough, definitely were better and outplayed us pretty much throughout, so yeah, they definitely deserved it.
Do you think that maybe you're kind of... I mean, I know you had mercs of V-Clocks from your kind of... your not child team, but in a sense child team of V-Clocks. Do you think if you had your full team, you would be a slightly stronger team? You would put not less of a fight or more of a fight, but... I mean, obviously you got the quicker cap time originally, but do you think you had more of a chance?
Yeah, we did set a reasonable cap time, especially after it took us so long to cap first, and then second was okay, and then third and last we capped super fast, and we were, after that, thinking we had a lot of momentum with us. Sure, if Yahoo was here, Yahoo's a big part of the team. He's been one of the longest serving members of the team, along with Mick Nando and myself, so yeah, of course he's an important part of the combo, but V-Clocks, credit to him, came in last minute. I asked him today, and he came in and did a good job. He played around the combo, cleared up frags around us, and he did pretty much everything we asked of him. Sure, Yahoo's Yahoo, and whenever we're missing someone from the main roster, I think we are weaker because of it, but I'm not going to blame that on the loss.
Speaking to that result, a lot of your pick, two players on your team that stood out to me a lot were definitely McNando and Zaphis. Zaphis getting a lot of cap time. He's really good at just sneaking in there and getting that extra bit of cap time, and his spy awareness, I think, definitely managed to stop Vilejack from perhaps going a bit bigger than he would normally in a game. I mean, he got claimed by the pit. I mean, being claimed by the pit is not something that you want to brag about.
I think I actually saw that at one point, but
yeah, Zaphis definitely doing a good job there, as well as McNando being incredibly aggressive and getting some picks here. What do you guys think about? What do you think about those two players on your roster?
Zaphis and Mick are huge for us. I would never say one player is like a standout player on our roster, because I think it's all about the team working together, and that's what's always we get our results from everyone playing together. And because maybe we haven't had the chance to do so much this week is why we were maybe a little bit weaker today. But Mick for sure did a lot of work, got a lot of key picks, a lot of stabs, and yeah, Zaphis, I rate him incredibly highly also. So, but yeah, I think our main problems today is we found it incredibly difficult to shut down Milkman. On defense, he seemed to just stay alive a lot, and then adysky used the space that Milkman staying alive created very well. So, yeah, credit to them both. They were definitely the standout players, I thought, for Fair Enough, and why we maybe couldn't get anything today.
Well, that's, as they say, fair enough. I suppose the last question that I'd like to ask you is, what's going to be the step up from this match today? How has this affected you, and how are you going to step up to your match next week?
We should be able to scrim more this week. I've got somewhere to stay for at least a little while, so I'll be able to play more in the evenings, and we will be hopefully scrimming more this week, and then Yahoo will be back next Wednesday, so if we can get an official later in the week, then we should have Yahoo back as well. And we are also better. We're not because we haven't had the practice on Upward, we've been a little bit weak on it. We've lost games that we really shouldn't against other teams as well. But on process, we've been really strong on process, and product we've also been pretty decent on. So hopefully next week we will. I expect the team to get 6 points next week for sure.
You could also argue they're playing, if anything, your rivals of Season 9, TC Ambition. So you could say there also that as you beat them in the semi-final.
The final.
In the final, yep, sorry. It was in the final. And even in the season as well.
Yes.
That you could probably go into it with more confidence as well.
Yeah. No, I expect us to take 6 points next week. I'd be disappointed with anything less.
Adysky, any words of warning to Strong Opinions for your match next week?
Fucking hell, I didn't think of this. They shouldn't scrim, they shouldn't prepare at all, we are trash, they don't need to scrim. Honestly, they can just beat us, easy peasy.
A very foreboding message there. The confidence is absolutely skyrocketing here.
No, I'm bluffing, man.
I knew
We're
that.
gonna beat them.
I was just hiding it for you. You know, I'm trying to big you up here. You know.
I'm not really good of a poker player.
You gotta work with me, man. You know, I'm segueing you along here. You can't just beat the call. You know. But yeah, anything else to add, Maxi?
No, if anything, we can move on, I guess, on to shoutouts. If both teams, we've covered next week. Both teams got covered going into next week. You see, Strong Opinions, obviously, the reigning champs now with the closing of Chess Club. Interesting to see. So let's start with Adysky. Any shoutouts from you? Probably towards Fair Enough will be my first guess.
I just have shoutouts to the old Fair Enough members. And Spirit in chat. And my team.
Hi, Spirit. That's something, that's a Deutschland thing. Obviously, Deutschland, the fundraiser is on. That'll be the second weekend of September for any of those who are still not aware of it. Chronos, any shoutouts from you?
Yeah, shout out to Fair Enough for putting up a really good game. Shout out to the rest of the Circle Jerk teams, Budget Toucans and Extreme Pirates. And shout out to my team for being just awesome guys. And yeah, that'll do.
Right, so as we wrap this out, our next game we will be casting is tomorrow at 21 CET. It will be again with myself, and joining me will be Zaphus. So look forward to another enjoyable Brickcast. I will expect to see many Dan's games in the chat. And that will be between the two teams of Nunya and Strong Opinions. So we're seeing the champions and the kind of combination and reformation of the Experiment and Nunya, who were in high last season.
The fight is on between me and Toast to see who will claim the next second pit of the season. Tune in to see that happen, as it looks like we'll just be closing this cast out now. So, yeah, great game. Thanks you guys for watching.
See you tomorrow.